Tonight, the Angels kick off a three-game series with the Seattle Mariners. It is halfway to Christmas night here at the Big A. And, of course, as we walk inside the Big A, for fans of those of you with Christmas movies, Christmas Vacation, that is our theme tonight. Of course, tonight I'm playing the role of Clark W. Griswold. This is none other than Cousin Eddie. Surprised to see me, Clark? Oh, Eddie, if I woke up tomorrow morning with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now. And, of course, it is very fitting that back in the 90s, this place used to be called Wally World in honor of Wally Joyner, but I digress. On Wednesday, the Angels did walk off on the Houston Astros, a 2-1 victory. Not only that, a series win.
Yeah, Clark, let's take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. Taylor Featherston with an opportunity to win a ball game. Had his first Major League home run just the other day in Arizona. Gets the ball at the end of the bat, flares it over Chris Carter's head, gets that big game-winning hit, his first hit in Angel Stadium for Taylor Featherston, and it was a walk-off variety for Taylor. What a day it was for him on Wednesday.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned halfway to Christmas celebration. No, we're all in this together. This is a full-blown four-alarm holiday emergency here. We're going to press on. We're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap dance with Danny Kaye. Lineups at first pitch when we return.
Angels baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Christmas. That's what we're celebrating here at the Big A today. Christmas ornaments handed out courtesy of Sungevity, so we thank them for their generosity, and the ornaments that were given out to those that are faithful to come out here and celebrate. It was about 90 degrees, I think, when I pulled into the parking lot today. So it was rather warm with the reindeer and our sweaters on.
Well, isn't that the way we normally dress?
Yes.
Thanks, Clark.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And those are fantastic shoes, by the way.
They are incredibly comfortable, too.
Tomorrow morning, you can put the spikes back in there. You can go back to the clubhouse and play golf in them. So we'll see what we have in store for tonight's ball game. This homestand continues year 3 against the Seattle Mariners, and the New York Yankees roll into town on Monday for a 3-game series. The Halos, as we just talked about, walked off on the Houston Astros. They won 2 of 3, so you like that from that standpoint, winning series. So you kind of try to do that and trying to gain some momentum. There's still some shortcomings on the offensive side. Fortunately for the Angels, Taylor Featherston got that base hit and finished that game off. But you still need to find some continuity. And for Matt Shoemaker, who's taking the hill tonight, he needs to find some continuity, push back a couple of days.
Yeah, he worked with Mike Butcher in between starts to really get back to where he was last season. That means pitching downstairs with his fastball. Only elevate when you want to change eye level. I think staying downstairs, the fastball away, along with that split finger fastball, should be solid tonight.
When you talk about expectations, the Angels certainly had some coming into the season. The Seattle Mariners certainly had some expectations after a terrific run that fell short just last year, but Lloyd McClendon's team has really struggled. 33-40. They are tied for last place with the Oakland Athletics. Logan Morrison's leading things off for them at first base. Austin Jackson in center, and it's been really the disappearance of Robinson Cano on the offensive side has kind of hurt this ball club, among other things. Robinson is batting third and playing second. Nelson Cruz at DH. Kyle Seager at third. Mark Trumbo has just played in 17 games with Seattle. He has struggled still. He gets a start today in right field. Seth Smith in left. Brad Miller at shortstop. Mike Zunino rounding out that starting 9 as they take on Matt Shoemaker, making his 14th start. Shoe with a 4-5 record, a 5.20 earned run average. The long ball obviously has plagued him this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. His ERA over 5, 4-5 mark, not bad as far as one-loss record for Shoe. But this key really is to keep the baseball in the ballpark. When you look at percentages of runs allowed via the home run this year, 53% of all the runs he has allowed this year have come via the home run ball. Last year, when you think about how many home runs he allowed per 9 innings, less than 1 this year, almost at 2. Keep the ball in the yard, should be fine.
Let's check out the defense for the Angels tonight. Efren Navarro gets a start in left field. Mike Trout at center. Cole Calhoun in right. The infield has David Freese, Eric Ibar. Taylor Featherston getting a start at second base, and Albert Pujols in the infield from third to first. Chris Simonetta behind the plate.
And most times Shoemaker, more of a fly ball type pitcher, and Mike Trout has been outstanding in center field. 2 outfield assists, 1 error in his last 175 games. He seems to be one of those days where you just feel Mike Trout is going to do something special with the bat and with the glove, be able to help the Angels win this game against a very well-pitched ball club in the Seattle Mariners.
Logan Morrison looks at a strike, the first one tonight. Clint Fagan calling the balls and strikes tonight. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, at first. Corey Blazer at second, and Chris Guccione at third base, the umpire and crew for the series. 14th game in the leadoff spot for Logan Morrison. With misses down and away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 248, 9 home runs, and 25 runs batted. It's a nice job settling in at first base. Just 1 error defensively, and a little bit of a surprise and consistent. This was sharply hit to a second. On to Pujols, and there's the first out of the game.
Always big to get him out. 4 for 7 in his career versus Shoemaker. A 5.71 batter against Shoe for Morrison. Ground ball right to Featherston get the first out.
So Austin Jackson will stroll to the plate with 1 out, nobody on. The center fielder hitting .256, 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. First one in there for a strike. Talking about the Mariners and their struggles. I mean, offensively, very close to the Angels, unfortunately, in a lot of categories. Bring up the rear as far as team batting average, runs scored, 14th in slugging, 15th in on-base percentage. The Angels 12th in batting average, 11th in runs, 13th in slugging, 12th in on-base percentage. So they both have experienced similar things. Lack of production, especially from the middle part of the order down.
Tell you what, that pitch before by Shoemaker, though, was perfect. Right at the knees. And hit 0-2, and the next one at 93.
That's a called strike 3. Down goes Jackson.
You notice that one at 94.
Yeah.
And that's something he worked on to get back to getting that power fastball that Mike Butcher and Shoemaker worked on just the other day. That good movement on the fastball, great movement at a two-seam fastball, catching the outside corner. Always good to have Cano come up with no one on.
Mentioned the struggles he has had this year. A .246 batting average. There's 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Has 19 doubles on the year. What stands out really is the slugging percentage and the on-base percentage. Just a .284 on-base percentage for Robinson Cano. Slugging at .346. Always a dangerous hitter, regardless of the struggles that he's had this season.
What you see a lot from Cano of late, even watching games on TV, guessing, looking for a pitch on the inner half of the plate to do the damage.
Chopper toward the middle. Featherston to his right has it. A good arm. And he'll throw out Cano, and Matt Shoemaker with a 1-2-3 first. But at the bottom of the inning, Navarro, Calhoun, and Trout coming up for the Angels. Angels at 37 and 36. At the start of the day, tied for second, 5 games back of the Houston Astros. After Navarro left, Cole Calhoun at right, Mike Trout at center, the top third of the order. Albert Pujols, the cleanup hitter at first. Eric Ibar at short. David Freese at third base, the middle third. Then you've got Matt Joyce, Chris Sinetta, and Taylor Featherston, the bottom third, with Joyce serving as the DH as they take on the 22-year-old right-handed named Taijuan Walker, making his first ever appearance against the Angels, which is hard to believe. He's been up and down in the big leagues the last couple of years.
He's got outstanding stuff. A power fastball, 92 to 97, a cut fastball, a curveball, and a plus changeup. My go-tos for success against Walker. Patience is a plus. Don't overswing, especially early in the count, just to see some of his pitches, and square up mentality. Square it up the middle.
And for Navarro, looking at a strike. Hitting .270, 3 doubles, 5 RBIs. Clifford had an 0-for-5 game on Wednesday. This one skied. Foul down the line and tailing toward the seat. So it's no balls and 2 strikes. The Angels managing 9 hits for 15 innings. There's the 0-2. Down the left field line again. This one might be playable, though. Seager, third baseman, will put it away for the first out. The Mariners defensively have Smith, Jackson, and Trumbo in the outfield from left to right. Seager, Miller, Cano, and Morrison around the infield from third to first. And a very good defensive catcher, Mike Zunino.
Are good for an out in right field for Seattle. Mark Trumbo making his 47th overall start in right field this year. 2 assists, 2 errors. Has played 4 different positions in his career. First, third, left, and right field. In the past, he told me he liked playing right field as far as all those positions, especially amongst the outfield positions. little better read on the baseball playing at right field as compared to left.
Calhoun hits one out to left field. Seth Smith will put it away for the second out.
Hyundai key for this game on halfway to Christmas celebration here at the Big A. A little jingle bell rock. Time for the offense to start rocking the baseball. Pitching staff has kept him in a number of games. You only mentioned winning 2 out of 3 against Houston. Well pitched games there to win those 2 or 3. Looking for the offense to pick up the pitching staff. That's a great hat right there.
Yeah. Great beard, too. I wonder if you can get that at a costume shop.
I'm jealous. That's a great look.
Trout takes outside. The Angels, and you mentioned the consistency or lack thereof on the offensive side, 3 for 21 in the series against Houston with men in scoring position, but still won the series. That one is down and in. 2 balls and no strikes, and as much as the Angels can harp on the struggles they've had in those type of situations, a 245 team batting average with men in scoring position, Seattle has struggled to attain a 209 average, and Trout drives this one out to right center field. Jackson will watch this one land in the seats. A big fly for Mike Trout with 2 outs here in the first, giving the Angels a 1-0 lead. That's one way to remedy that situation.
And that is a jingle bell rock the baseball for Mike Trout. Santa's happy. A good count to do some damage. A good fastball count. Look for something downstairs. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, but out over the plate. First home run since June 12th. It's a pretty good pitch. When you think about it, most times as a pitcher, you'd like to own that fastball downstairs, especially at 96, but look how far Trout hits that baseball. Thought he might do something special tonight. He's already started here in the Big A.
19th of the year, 42 RBIs down. Pujols will look at a strike.
By the way, hit speed off the bat for Trout, 107.
Not bad for the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Pujols. Mentioned this is Taijuan Walker's first ever appearance against the Angels. Only one guy has seen him before, and that's Dan Robertson. That was just one time. Robert is swinging a miss. 1-2. Pujols with 23 home runs and 47 runs batted in. 272 batting average. We'll take a look.
And that baseball got out quickly. It has to feel good for Trouty. Been a while since he's hit a home run.
Albert bounces this one foul.
And
it remains at 2-2.
Victor, it always seems to be the case when Trout hits a home run, Pujols will hit a home run.
Albert's got to try to show him up, is what you say.
Yes, indeed.
First home run for Trout since June the 12th against Oakland. It's the last homestand. And Albert strikes out swinging, and that's hasn't happened often in the month of June. This is the 5th time that Pujols has struck out, but the Angels take a 1-0 lead courtesy of Trout's 19th of the season. Trout with a 2-out home run, 19th of the year, 42nd RBI. Taijuan Walker.
Coming up later in the game, we'll check out the big news from around the majors on the Carl's Jr. Sports Update. Maybe we see history tonight in Philadelphia. And an un-Christmas-like gathering again in Oakland. These two teams got together earlier in the season, didn't really like each other a whole lot.
And we'll see how that plays out.
Oh, yeah.
Nelson Cruz looks at a strike, and it's 1-1. He's the DH. 303, 19 home runs, and 44 runs batted in for Cruz. First season with Seattle. He served as a DH this whole week with his upper quad area, right leg. In Monday's game, left the game with that injury. I should say quad because it's listed as a right upper leg injury.
Is this hockey?
Yeah, perhaps. That's why he has been DHing the rest of the time. The appeal over at first. Jeff Nelson says he did not go.
That was a pretty good pitch, too. Upper part of the strike zone at 92. Good velocity early on for Matt Shoemaker. The movement should be catching the upper part of the strike zone.
Bouncer to short. Come on. It's going back to that pitch. Almost looked like Iannetta was more concerned with just catching and then pointing to first on the check swing. Then,
yeah, if he keeps his glove there, that gives, the umpire, Clint Fagan, an opportunity to call that a strike. Because if he sees that, especially because he's setting up away, he'll be able to see that's got a lot of the strike zone.
There's Kyle Seager, the third baseman, 265 on the season, 11 home runs, 37 driven home. On a tear out on the road this year, especially of late. Last 18 road games, Seager's hit .348. On the year, Seattle's at .225 compared to .236 at Safeco. Inside corner, evens the count. Look at the visiting players on the video board get the holiday treatment.
I like those hats they got on.
Yeah. Little Christmas plaid.
Yes.
2 balls and a strike.
It's a solid look.
Kyle had no idea how much he was going to enjoy Christmas in June, or halfway to Christmas, whatever you want to call it. 3 balls and 1 strike on Seager. Toward left, Navarro was shading him toward the line. Has to come in, make the catch. Second out of the inning. Brings up Mark Trumbo.
First fly ball out of the game for Matt Shoemaker. 3 ground ball outs and a strikeout.
Nice round of applause for Trumbo as he gets introduced here. First time he's been back since the trade. We thought we were going to see him in Arizona, but got traded prior to the Angels getting there. See the overall numbers for Trumbo. Mentioned this is his 18th game wearing a Mariners uniform. Has a home run to 5 RBIs. First 17 games wearing the M's uni. Spent 4 seasons with the Angels. He had a total of 95 home runs in those 4 seasons. 284 runs batted in while carrying a .250 batting average. Not bad for an 18th round pick in 2004.
Oh, Villa Park High School.
Yeah.
Great guy. Had a chance to play golf with him. Mike Scioscia's tournament, golf tournament he has in November. Of course, in the Trumbo and Hank Conger. My ribs were killing me, not from swinging the golf club, but from laughing with those 2 guys. Well, they might have been laughing at my golf swing too, but that's a different story. This is what you got to try to avoid, to put yourself in these counts, especially against guys like Mark Trumbo, Nelson Cruz, Robinson Cano tonight. You put yourself in fastball counts.
And he walks him. A 2-out walk puts a man on for the first time for Seattle. Will bring up Seth Smith.
Threw a 3-1 slider to see if Trumbo will be a little bit more aggressive, trying to do well back here at the Big A, wearing that different uniform, but did not swing at that pitch out of the strike zone.
Seth Smith, a .261 batting average this season, getting to start in left field tonight. 1-0 Angels. Trout with a home run in the first. Broken bat roller toward third. Freeze to the backhand. And the inning is over. Shutdown inning for Shoemaker. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Ibar, Freeze, and Joyce coming up with the Angels leading it.
Tonight's Cold Hard Facts, which are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. 3 Hall of Famers were born on Christmas Day: Ricky Henderson, Nellie Fox, and Pud Galvin back in 1856. Some great names.
No doubt about it.
Ricky Henderson, yeah, that's a great name.
Yeah, Pud's real name, James Francis Galvin, as Ibar grounds out. But his good friends called him Pud.
Pud? Yeah. Why not?
His other friends called him Gentle Jeeves or the Little Steam Engine. Just some of the other nicknames that Pud went by.
You remember him well?
Oh, yeah, he pitched in the late 1800s. I was looking up his numbers. And the amazing thing is, okay, the guy won 365 games. He lost 310. He went through a stretch in which he lost 20 or more games for 7 straight seasons.
I always remember talking to the guys that played before, you know, the Hall of Famers stuff. It's all about getting those decisions. If you pitch deep enough in games, you're getting a lot of decisions.
He got him. There's no doubt. Freeze fouling the first one off. Snowballs, 2 strikes.
Although Ron Darling, remember that one time because he ran into a stretch when he was with the New York Mets, all a bunch of no decisions. Sometimes taking a loss is better than a no decision. I beg to differ. I always give Ron Darling a little grief for that one.
Freeze shoots one out to right field, and Trumbo will play it on a couple of bounces. It's a 1-out single for David Freeze, and will bring up Matt Joyce. One last thing on Pud Galvin. In 1883, he went 46-29. Pitched in 76 games, made 75 starts. He had 72 CGs. Oh. And today's players, yeah, come on. What leads the league now in CGs? 3? 5?
That's amazing.
No doubt.
You think his elbow ever hurt? Or shoulder?
They didn't call him Pud for nothing.
Ricky, though, 1,406 stolen bases. Phenomenal player. Arguably one of the best players ever.
Just ask him.
Just ask him. No question.
At least that day he was the greatest of all time. Still one of the best plugs.
Oh, yeah.
Any number of Ricky Henderson stories, too, as Joyce went around. Evens up the count of 1 ball, 1 strike.
In many conversations with Ricky, he's incredibly smart when it comes to baseball. Knows the game so well.
Joyce trying to bunt his way on. With the shift on, and it's 1-2.
I was watching the game last night, the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game, late. It was extra innings. Joey Votto bunted against the shift with 2 strikes on him. In the 12th or 13th inning, I think it was. Pitcher made a nice play against him. With the shift on, you're going to have to do that as a hitter on occasion.
Joyce goes down swinging for out number 2. Second strikeout for Walker. Hey, fans, join us for movie night at the Big A after the Angels take on the Mariners tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow's game's a 4:15 start. After the game, fans will be allowed on the outfield grass to watch our featured presentation of Finding Nemo. For more info to purchase tickets, just log on at angels.com/promotions. Remember, the Angels-Mariners game is on Big Fox tomorrow. It's a 4:15 start. Sinetta takes a breaking ball. This is inside. Chris hitting 184, 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. But Fagan calling a lot of strikes. I like, you know what, I'll be honest with you. I like that little hesitation he has. He's not quick to call the strike or call it a ball. There's that split second little pause, make sure he saw the pitch, and then makes the call. This is hit toward short past Miller. It's a base hit. Freeze will round second and stay right there. So the Halos have 2 men on with 2 outs.
Jammed Chris a little bit, but still got his hands inside the baseball enough. With a good part of the bat. Hit that by Miller at short. He ran that one inside. Tucked his hands in. Not quite the barrel of the bat, but a good enough part of the bat to get a base hit. Bringing up the hero from Wednesday's game.
Taylor getting the start tonight at second base. 5 for 44 on the year. That's a 114 average with a home run, 2 doubles, 4 runs batted in. A big one on Wednesday. A game winner. 13th off Chad Qualls. Such a big hit, it put Chad Qualls on the DL. He's got a pinched nerve in his neck. That's when you know you're going good.
Yeah.
Halos with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Trout's 19th home run in the first inning. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tell you what, Walker does have a good fastball. He's been very good in the month of June. 3-1 with a 2.63 ERA. Started off slow. He had a fantastic spring training. Started off real slow, but now he's back in the groove.
That is lifted out to left. Seth Smith racing back, has a beat on it. And will squeeze it for the 3rd out. The Angels get a couple of men on and leave them stranded. 2 in the books. 1-0 Angels. Morgan and Team USA take on Germany with a trip to the final on the line. Coverage begins Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, only on your local Fox station, streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
United States with a big victory today. Germany saying that should be a great matchup.
Seattle sending up 8, 9, and 1 here in the third inning. Miller, Zunino, and Morrison. Matt Shoemaker. One strikeout, one walk. Miller lifting one out toward left center field. This could be trouble, and it will be. It'll go all the way to the wall. Miller with good speed on his way to second. He'll slam on the brakes, and it's a leadoff double for Seattle.
10th double of the year for Miller. So often we've seen from Miller try to pull a lot of pitches. He went with that pitch. Hit that one well to left center field. It's a pretty good pitch. See where Chris Iannetta was setting up a 91-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball by Shoemaker. And this went with it. So often we've seen Miller try to pull that. Most times it's going to be a ground ball to second. Instead, it's a double to left center field with good carry.
First time Seattle's had a man reach scoring position. Mike Zunino bats here. Mariners catcher hitting 165, 7 home runs, 16 runs batted in, takes a big hack and comes up empty. The struggles that Seattle has had offensively has already had an effect on the coaching staff too. Howard Johnson reassigned by Seattle, and Mariners Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez has taken over the hitting coach duties. Now Zunino's showing the bunt. This one off the plate. That is a fair ball. That's a fair ball. Iannetta, or they're calling interference. Looks like Zunino is called for interference, and
that's huge. He has to go back to second base also. Willie McClendon is going to go out and talk to Clint Fagan to get an explanation behind that one. See if there was any contact made. The bunt. And then he ran and then stopped. There was a little bit of contact initially with Iannetta and Zunino. Better look here. Starts to leave the batter's box, and there you see a little bit of contact. And Chris was looking down towards third base. That's a big break for the Angels there.
Should go as a 2 unassisted for the first down. Miller back to second. There's Logan Morrison, the leadoff man. Surprised more guys don't run when they bunt hit the plate. They want to watch the baseball.
You should be going automatically as soon as you put the ball down. No matter where it is, as long as it hits the ground, plate, or dirt, go.
Morrison 0 for 1 with a ground ball to second.
Zunino does have one sacrifice bunt this year.
Ibar trying to keep Miller close to the bag at second. Miller's 10th double to lead off this third inning. Good off speed. No balls and 2 strikes. 18 years in the big leagues for Edgar Martinez, 2-time batting champion.
I think one of the best hitters ever. For a right-handed batter, if you're a right-handed pitcher, you usually feel pretty comfortable against right-handed hitters, but not against him. He used the entire field and hit everything extremely hard.
Came up originally as a third baseman, and the bulk of his career as a designated hitter.
Did he come up with the Yankees originally?
That sounds right. Was that the Ken Phelps trade?
Boy, can he hit. And he hit so many rockets to right center field. He has that good coverage.
He was always a Mariner.
Not even in the minor leagues? I thought he came up drafted by the Yankees. I know he played his entire career in the big leagues with them.
That's not what I'm looking at. The only reason I popped up Ken Phelps because I just remembered Seinfeld's episode with the Steinbrenner character in that one. Ken Phelps, Ken Phelps, Ken Phelps. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Seriously, Clark?
That was Jay Buhner. He came up with the Yankees and got traded.
I remember him well, too. Unfortunately.
2 balls, 2 strikes here on Morrison. Full count.
Open base. I think he's going to throw him a split finger fastball. He threw the fastball up and in just off the inside corner. Should have the outside part of the corner, outside part of the plate set up for the split.
Chopper. An off-speed pitch. Featherston over to Pujols. 2 down. Miller over to third.
That's how important that failed bunt was. Unlikely that would have been a run scored. Play the infield back early in the game. Instead, you get through this inning with no damage.
So 2 down, and here's Austin Jackson. Struck out looking in the first. The only punch out for Shoemaker. Ground ball left side. Ibar to the backhand. Jump throw to first base. Pujols takes it out. Got him!
What a play.
I'm sure they'll take a look at it, but right now, Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, rings up Austin Jackson.
Speaking of New York, Derek Jeter-like play by Eric Ibar with a lot on that throw and a good scoop by Albert. I guess, yeah, they're going to take a look at it. Got a lot on this throw considering how far his body's going away from the throw.
Can't see the ball hitting the glove on that one. Jackson with good speed getting down the line. I think that's going to get overturned.
That is extremely close. It
Yeah.
has a chance to. Baseball is going in the glove, but it's not secure at that point.
Right, it's got to hit the webbing of the glove to it be considered a catch or an out at that point. But again, the whole definitive angle. You know, we've seen plays where we thought should get overturned, don't, vice versa. But overall, nice job by Ibar to stay with that baseball after Freeze basically cut in front of him there with a dive.
Look how far this throw is from Eric and going across his body. Got a lot on that throw. That is really close. Just as the foot's going in, the baseball is going in towards the glove at that point and securing it. Real close, tough call. Jackson runs very well. It's a big play here too.
That looks like that gives you that last shot there gives you a pretty good indication where the ball is in relation to the foot. So let's take a look at it in New York. If the call stands, it's the 3rd out.
Again, how difficult it is as an umpire to make that call.
I think the foot may have gotten there before that ball hit the webbing. Bud McClellan of the Mariners challenging this one. If the call gets overturned, it's a 1-1 game.
This is getting back to that range that Eric Ibar has. That was an outstanding play. Again, how much he got on that throw across the diamond. And he's playing more so up the middle, and he's not even in the picture till then. This baseball leaps up, got a lot on the throw, a perfect, accurate throw, one-hop throw to Albert Pujols with the stretch. Long time trying to figure this one out.
Well, the call on the field is out. It would end the inning. That would keep the Angels up 1-0 if it's overturned. And It's not. The call stands. Wow. I guess that goes back to that whole definitive angle there. The Angels get a break. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Halos leading at 1-0. Christmas, and we walk into our broadcast booth, having a lot of fun here. A couple of the Strike Force girls kind of to join us here and celebrating halfway to Christmas, just about time. And you even got to bring Bing Crosby.
Yeah,
here.
he's everywhere. He's singing well too.
Is he happy?
Yes.
Is he?
Yeah.
How long have you had this thing?
15 years.
15
Yes.
years. Well, it's a good thing because he still looks good.
He's still singing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battery's never been changed.
No.
Battery's safe.
Not required.
1-0 Angels. What about that play to end the top of the third inning? You can't get over Bing singing, can you?
It was a great play
to Morrison for the first down.
I mean, the range that Eric Ibar had was fantastic for me because he had to go back to the backhand and be able to plant and throw across the diamond like that. But you also got to give Albert Pujols credit for the stretch, and he was able to make the play with the stretch, get in the glove quickly, and get that big out, prevents Seattle from scoring.
You surprised at the call standing?
Yeah, it almost looked as I thought his foot may have got in there, maybe not as conclusive as we've seen before, but what a throw he made. And Jackson runs extremally well down the line, but a break prevents Seattle from scoring a run.
Yep.
Great job by Eric Ibar.
No doubt. Cole Calhoun hit a fly ball to left field in his first at-bat, so we will continue to listen to Bing Crosby singing and Gooby dancing. Strike Force girls having a lot of fun. You guys look great. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right. Halfway to Christmas continues, and we are so thrilled about it, too.
Yes, indeed.
Because these sweaters are nice and chilly.
Yeah, they are borderline freezing right now.
Cole rolling it foul. Alfredo Griffin with a nice play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Full count. This is something for Walker. He's not walked a batter over his last 16 plus innings. Got much better with the command. This is popped up. Playable for Seager.
19 strikeouts during that stretch also.
That's a course of 70 batters. Not a bad little stretch to be on as far as the command. Not walking the guy. 2 outs, nobody on for Trout, who homered in the first inning, his 19th of the season.
And one thing you notice from Walker, really basically staying in that stretch position. Why you do that? More consistency in the strike zone. Not a lot of moving parts. Sometimes you go from that full windup. You can do that, especially being taller. He certainly doesn't waste any time to throw the baseball either.
And again, another young pitcher with that modified windup. Saw Chris Archer doing it. There are quite a few guys nowadays starting to do that. And at the knees, 1-2. 97. And a swing and a miss, just blew right by him. A 1-2-3 inning for Walker. Picks up his third strikeout, 3 complete, 1-0 Halos.
Shoemaker talked about this even in the pregame show, the importance of that fastball in the outside corner. 2-seam fastball at the knees, 92. Why? Because it sets up that devastating split finger fastball as the game progressed, because the hitter's not only at the plate but on the bench. See that he's throwing that fastball downstairs, makes that splitter that much better.
Cano, Cruz, and Seager here in the 4th for Seattle. Robinson skying this one foul. No balls a strike. Cano with a ground down to Featherston at second in the first inning. Oh, 2. By the way, nice of the Strike Force girls to stop by.
Yes.
Great unis today.
Very
Reeds
busy
all over the place.
Yeah, they're very busy running around, spreading that Christmas cheer. Halfway the Christmas cheer.
Yeah, get it straight, right?
Yes. I'm always in the Christmas spirit.
This from the bounce over to Pujols. Well done. Brings up Nelson Cruz. Cruz grounded out to Ibar, leading off the second with the 1. So far, so good for Shoemaker. 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Remember, pushed back a couple of days. Last start was on the 19th at Oakland. Allowed 5 runs, all earned on 8 hits and 4 innings of work through 72 pitches. With 2 home runs in that game, he's allowed 15 on the season. He's had 1 win over his last 6 starts, and that was at Tampa on the 9th. This is a base hit to left. Cruz went down and got it. So a man on for Seattle here with 1 away.
Not a bad slider either, Victor, on that pitch. Cruz went down and got it. And your goal was get him out, but if he gets on base, you want to get that single because he's not running real well at this point. Keep him in the yard. Still keep a potential ground ball double play in order.
So small moral victory.
Yeah, especially when you think about how well he, especially early on, he was crushing the baseball. Slowed down somewhat, but still a guy that not going to hurt you as much when he's not as healthy when he's at first base. Doesn't run as much as he used to.
Seager will look at a strike. Fly ball to left in his 2nd inning at bat. 3rd round pick out of University of North Carolina back in 2009. Same season that Dustin Ackley was taken in the 1st round by Seattle. His teammate there was a Tar Heel. Good off-speed pitch.
Fourth 0-2 count in this game so far for Shoemaker. That was a good straight changeup he threw there to Seager. He'll throw his changeup and split finger fastball.
Back to the mound. Shoemaker fires to high ball. Relay back in time, a double play. Nicely turned by Ibar. Shoemaker, nice speed to start him to the bottom of the 4th. Pujols coming up to lead it off.
Bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Alex Curry. Make sure you stick around after the game for an all-new episode of Angels Weekly. We get a private tour of Hector Santiago's home in Arizona and a look at his insane memorabilia collection. He has over 150 signed jerseys. We also spend the day at Children's Hospital of Orange County with the Angels' wives as they help the girls pick out their dresses for the oncology prom. And then lastly, we get to hang out with the Triple Crown jockey Victor Espinoza as he throws out the first pitch. And hey, a couple of the Angels actually got to meet American Pharoah today at Santa Anita, guys.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Should be a good show.
Albert leading things off here. He struck out to end the first inning.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of Hector's house, those jerseys he has. He has some amazing jerseys signed.
You've got yourself a pretty good collection.
I got a few of them. Yeah, a few of them.
Maybe one of these days you can be a segment on Angels Weekly.
I'll let Bing take care of it.
With all your Christmas ornaments?
Yes. We'll wait for that one the week before Christmas.
This is down the line, backhanded by Seager. One down. But by then it'll be Angels Monthly in December.
Well, we can still get that in.
Yeah. Should be an hour show, should it?
No question.
Spent 4 segments with you. Just throwing out show ideas.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
There's Eric Ibar. Eric grounded out to Morrison leading off the second. Came at batting 260.
We do get some snow every once in a while brought in for the holidays.
Do you?
Yes. Just keeping you updated. Just
I'm telling you, man, you go all out. I think it's cool.
It's definitely handed down from my parents, especially my mom.
Yeah.
And it was my grandfather before that. That's a great look right there. Yes, that's perfect. Boy, free and easy with this fastball. His best fastball. He's thrown a number of them at 97 tonight so far. That one at 94. Very good athlete too. Fields his position well. Not easy to steal against, as it's allowed 3 stolen base in 4 attempts. I'm sure Alfredo may get a little grief when he gets back into that dugout after that ground ball just got by him.
That is hit out toward the alley, right center field. That will go to the wall. Ibar racing to second. Trumbo picks it up, fires it in, and Eric trying to stretch it into a triple. The throw from Cano in time.
Wow, that throw by Cano was unbelievable. How quickly he got rid of that baseball. And you can't fault Ibar, especially when he rounded second base. He thought for sure the way the ball was bobbled out there in that warning track area, but this play is made purely by Robinson Cano. A good swing by Eric, but a perfect throw. How quickly he got rid of this baseball. Look how quick the transfer and the perfect throw in the air and the tag. Wow, I mean, they might have to check that.
Yeah, they are still waiting. Now here comes Scioscia, and they are going to check it. The other thing that I liked on that play is, too, when you get a third baseman on a throw that's on target, just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
Not tipping it off.
Exactly. He wasn't, setting himself up to catch it. Don't remind me of Bob Boone in that play by Bo Jackson against Harold Reynolds in Seattle in the Kingdome on the play at the plate. That's going to be real close.
Well, the foot, especially the left foot, stayed on the bag.
See if the tag.
It's tough to tell. Then again, we thought that Austin Jackson looked safe. The foot hit the bag before the ball. That call stood. Looks like probably the best angle as of right now.
Yeah, the foot is.
And I think he may have gotten him.
Yeah. At one angle, it looked like he got his foot in, but there it didn't look like the foot got to the base until the tag. But he kept the tag on him. See this angle here, Well, you're kind of blocked off by his leg, third base umpire.
That's a tough angle for Chris Guccione to make a call, for any umpire to make a call on, because you're behind, you're shielded by the third baseman.
But what a relay by Robinson Cano. How quickly the transfer of the throw, and a lot on the throw.
See, that one looks like the tag hits that shin area before the foot hits the bag.
The one angle we showed, and originally looked like he didn't apply the tag right away to the shin area before the foot hit. But that angle right there may allow them to keep that call as a stand, and he's out.
Call stands.
Credit Robinson Cano with a perfect relay and a good quick tag by Kyle Seager.
So 2 outs, the base is clear for David Freese. It's a double for Ibar's 10th. Eric made up his mind fairly quickly that he was going to go. Freese hits one toward the hole. Miller with a diving stop. Not going to get Freese, who picks up his second hit of the night. 2 singles for Freese.
And what it was Eric just picked up when he looked up in the outfield and saw Trumbo having a tough time with Jackson out there in right center field getting that baseball in quickly. So you can't fault Eric for trying to get to third base. Obviously, with 2 outs, you don't do that. It would have been the third out. But he's looking out in the outfield and seeing the little bobble, and he's figured he's got a good chance to get there to third base. But a perfect relay and a quick tag by Seager prevents that from happening.
Now, call stands just means that there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it, or really to confirm it. This one's out towards center. Austin Jackson will make the catch, and the Angels are done here in the 4th. We will head to the 5th here at the Big A. Halos leading at 1-0.
Cherokee with an EPA estimate of 31 miles per gallon. Visit Jeep.com for more information. By AT&T Uverse, more live channels on the go than cable. By Keck Medicine of USC, beyond exceptional medicine. And by Subaru. Test drive the all-new 2015 Subaru Forester or go to Subaru.com to learn more.
1-0 Angels, courtesy of Mike Trout's 19th of the season. That was back in the 1st inning. As we start the 5th inning, Trumbo, Smith, and Miller for Seattle. Game 1 of a 3-game series. 4:15 start tomorrow. 12:35 start Sunday afternoon. Garrett Richards on the mound tomorrow. Hector Santiago getting locked up with Felix Hernandez on Sunday. Trumbo drew a walk, the only free pass that Shoemaker's allowed today. That's also given up 2 hits. Now it's outside for ball 1. Trumbo was hitting .259 with the Diamondbacks, 9 home runs, 23 runs batted in when he got traded to Seattle.
Good slider there from Shoemaker.
Trumbo is going good, especially wearing that Angels uniform. Some gargantuan home runs. Still can't forget the one he had at Target Field in Minneapolis, left center field.
One here against King Felix.
That's a base hit, maybe more. Down the right field line, Trumbo just kind of sticking the bat out there. Cole comes up with it, fires it back in, and it's a leadoff double for Trumbo. His first as a Mariner.
It's a pretty good fastball, but was elevated enough that he can just flick it in the right field. He's strong as Trumbo is. He was looking away and was trying to make contact. Ball was elevated enough where he could punch that right down the line.
Ibar making Trumbo dive back in at second base. That'll throw from Shoemaker. Smith a ground out to David Freese in the second. 0 for 1. That's yanked foul. Off speed pitch, it was up in the zone. And we have seen this year when Matt gets in trouble, a lot of it, most pitchers, but specifically with Shoemaker on the off speed stuff, thigh high and above, hitters haven't missed too many times.
That's exactly why Trumbo, even though it was a good pitch as far as the outside part of play, but it was elevated enough he could punch it down the right field line. So far, Shoemaker has gotten 10 ground ball outs, one of them being a ground ball double play, but very good as far as keeping the ball down for the most part today.
This is pulled over to Pujols. Salbert will flip it to Shoemaker. 1 out. Trumbo advances to third. Fans of Halos welcome in the New York Yankees for a 3-game series beginning on Monday at 7:05. Purchase your tickets at the Angel Stadium box office or online. 2 night games and then a 4:05 start on Wednesday. And after that game, the Angels will have an off day on Thursday. They will travel after the game to Texas for a road trip that takes you right to the All-Star break. 2 weeks from Tuesday in Cincinnati is the All-Star game. Curious to see now Monday what the updated voting totals are for the American League. National League totals are on Tuesday. Angels up 1-0 here in the 5th. And the infield in with Brad Miller at the plate. 1 out. Miller a double to the alley and left center to third. It's 1 for 1.
And the interesting thing about this, Victor, is because of the offense not being as consistent as you would like, it's forcing Mike Scioscia to bring the infield in with the team winning at this point 1-0 in the 5th inning. A lot of times when you're swinging the bat well, you're up 1-0 in the 5th inning, more likely you'll be willing to almost give up that run for an out. But because the team has been struggling offensively, you're trying to cut off that run at the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike. Not only that, Walker's starting to get locked in. One lifted to left. Navarro drifting back on it. It's over his head. The run will score. Miller on his way to second with his second double of the ball game, and we're tied at 1.
Baseball that have carried very well. One to left center, that one to left field off the bat of Miller. You know, most times for his power, pulling it. Fastball, about thigh high, looking to go the other way once again. I think Matt was trying to throw that two-seam fastball at the knees to get a ground ball. Instead, a fly ball over the head of Efrain Navarro in left field for a double.
So now with 11 doubles on the season, picked up his 20th RBI. Here's Zunino, the catcher, called out for interference, trying to bunt in the third inning. He skies one at the shallow left. Matt Shoemaker just got away with a pitch. 2 down.
Especially to Zunino, you can see how angry he is going in the dugout for Seattle because he had a pitch to do some damage.
Two outs, Miller at second. Top of the order now, Logan Morrison. Morrison 0 for 2, twice is grounded out to Taylor Featherston at second. This is back up the middle. Ibar position perfectly, has it. And that'll do it for Seattle, although they do tie it up. A couple of doubles, Trumbo and Miller as we head to the bottom of the 5th. A 1-1 game. Is presented by Authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. 8-9-1 for the Halos against Taijuan Walker, Iannetta, Featherston, and Navarro. Walker with 3 strikeouts, no walks, 5 hits allowed. Two balls, no strikes. Iannetta with a base hit in the second. It's 1 for 1.
Pretty good cut fastball from Walker.
Supplemental first-round pick in 2010. Highly touted prospect since the time he signed. He liked his arm. He would get to the big leagues quickly. Had a fantastic spring this year. He's making his 15th start. One of the kind of head scratchers as to the way he started the season. Trying to skies one into foul territory. Zunino gets rid of the mask. 1 down.
Now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. Featherston, third Angel in the last 40 years. Collect his first career hit at Anaheim as a walk-off hit. Gary Pettis, my buddy, back in 2007. Gary Pettis back in 1982. Big hit for Featherston. Big week for him in his first career home run in Arizona.
Gets a start tonight at second base. Hit a fly ball to left in the second. Pulls this one foul. Great shot. Right center field. Crowd here on this Friday night.
Really cool Christmas ornament they gave away.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, the question is, how long do they keep the decorations up? I mean, are they like my household next day, I want to pack it up and get it out? Or are they like you and they keep it up until after the All-Star break?
Or at least February. So.
Celebrate 3 Kings.
Yes. Exactly.
One ball, 2 strikes. Home run by Trout at the first. Seattle tying it at the top of the 5th. Lead-off double by Trumbo, and Miller brought him home with his second double. Navarro on deck.
Good take on that hard curveball.
Chopper off the plate. It's going to be trouble. Seager has a good arm, but Featherston can get down the line. It's an infield base hit.
Logan Marks tried to sell that, catch that baseball, get off the bat quickly. You could do that back in the day, but not with replay anymore. Featherston sensing he's got a base hit going down the line, beats that one out at first. And the way Effort can handle the bat, would not be surprised now with Featherston's speed that Mike Scioscia puts a hit and run on at some point during the sequence.
Effort fouls it off. He's 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a ground out. Houston lost earlier tonight to the Yankees 3-2, so the Angels with an opportunity to pick up a game with a victory. The start of the day 5 back, tied with Texas at 5 back. Texas lost to Toronto 12-2. They're playing up at the Rogers Center.
They can score some runs, Toronto. Get any pitching at all. It's a rumor to be trying to add a starter and potentially a closer to their pitching staff.
Snap throw to first base and almost gets Featherston. It's a called strike 3. Talking about the delayed call by Clint Fagan. There it is. Surprise Navarro, that's for sure.
Fastball down. Barely touching the lower part of the strike zone.
Strikeout number 4 for Walker. So it'll bring up Cole with 2 down. Texas, by the way, now has lost 6 straight. Yeah, 6 straight. With that loss tonight. They've got some guys on the mend too from a pitching standpoint, and Harrison looks to be a little bit closer than Derek Holland is, but they've had some young pitchers step in and do a terrific job for them.
Prince Fielder has slowed down a little bit.
It's tough to sustain that. I mean, how many times have we talked about it, whether it's Cabrera or Trout or McCutchen? It doesn't matter. No matter how good you're going, it's tough to sustain that through the course of an entire season.
Because pitchers know that when you go through scouting reports, this guy's on fire right now, so your concentration is even more so, and you don't give him anything to hit anywhere near the strike zone, and then you become impatient as a hitter.
Foul back.
Making a Hyundai key for this game. Jingle Bell Rock. Last time we brought that out, Mike Trout hit one out of the ballpark. See if we can use that magic once again on halfway to the Christmas day here today at the ballpark.
Cole with a fly ball to left and a pop-up to third. 1 run, 4 hits, 3 left on for Seattle. 1 run, 6 hits, 3 left on for the Angels.
It's a pretty good sized lead.
Pitch out, Cole. Thought it was a pitch out. Cole cuts through it. It's 1-2. Zunino came out as if it was going to be a pitch out.
It was supposed to be a pitch out, that's for sure. Zunino stepping out for the pitch out, but actually was pretty close to the plate. Usually you'll do that if there's a hit and run on, is try to protect as a hitter.
Walker with quick feet. He'll throw a little bit high.
That's a very athletic field. His position extremely well.
Two balls and 2 strikes. This is pulled foul, just wide of the bag at first.
Boy, free and easy, 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Walker. Percentage-wise of fastballs, 68%, but also throws a cut fastball, so around 76% of his pitches are fastballs, according to Fangraphs.
Trout on deck. Full count.
So far in this game for Walker, he wanted that pitch. It was a pretty good pitch. He's had 38 pitches of 95 or higher on his velocity of his fastball tonight. 38 of his 74 pitches have been 95 or higher. Impressive arm.
Featherston takes off. That one ripped into the corner. That one has a chance to go, and it's foul. Jeff Nelson with the call down the line. Had the home run distance, but just hooked it.
They're going to look at that possibly. They're going to at least get together.
That's the crew chief, and he's calling everyone together now.
That's interesting. Right away, he's going to do it. See if anybody else had a better angle before they go potentially check it. See down the line. Yeah, it definitely looked like it hooked foul. It's good they got together right away just to get a different point of view.
High fastball from Walker there, 94.
Good job by Jeff Nelson on that one.
Yeah, Cole turning that one around.
Reaction, just wishing that ball got around that foul pole before it hooked too quickly.
And he goes down swinging to end the 5th inning. We head to the top of the 6th. 2, 3, and 4 for Seattle coming up in a 1-1 game.
A well-pitched game, but early on for the Halos. Mike Trout. It's Walker. 2-0 count. Fastball down at 96. Hits it out. First home run since June 12th. Brad Miller has swung the bat very well so far. This game, 2 doubles. That one scoring Mark Trumbo, who doubled down the right field line earlier in that inning. You're tied up at 1 here in the top of the 6th.
Jackson, Cano, and Cruz for Seattle here in the 6th inning. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 4 hits allowed for Matt Shoemaker. Just 57 pitches thrown. Austin Jackson 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the first, grounded out to Ibar in the 3rd. That was a terrific jump throw by Ibar that got reviewed. The call stood.
Pretty good slider. He's had a good one so far in this game. You would think with the slider right on that plane, try to sneak a fastball the exact same plane.
Reaching for this one, Ibar back to the backhand. Similar play as we saw earlier. This one is an infield base hit. David Freese just stopped running for the ball going to his left.
And there's no way at that point it's even further of a throw for Eric.
Now if David gets to it.
That backhand, it's a little bit easier of a throw potentially for David if he can get to that ball, but it's going to be an impossible throw for Eric to do it twice. Now you have to deal with somebody with speed. Austin Jackson with 7 stolen bases, although he's been caught 6 times this year.
Seattle hasn't run a whole lot, just like the Angels. They have 29 bags. The Angels have 23. 12th and 13th respectively in the league. Cano for 2, twice is grounded out.
Shoemaker's allowed 5 stolen bases in 8 attempts against him. He has 1 pickoff.
One ball, no strikes. 38 of the 61 pitches for Shoemaker have been strikes tonight.
One thing, if you're a pitcher tonight, Clint Fagan is calling up that low strike. So you can use both sides of the plate with both your fastball and your secondary pitches, but keep it at the knees. He will call it.
In and out of the glove of Iannetta. That was pretty close to being a strike, too.
Got a lot of the strike zone. 91-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball. Setting up inside. Tried to frame that on the outside corner, but you can see with corner Fox tracks that catches the corner. That's one of those pitches as a catcher. Just catch it there and hold it. You don't have to try to bring it back in and frame it.
Top of foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Okay, that might have been a count where Jackson may go. With Cano at the plate, a 2-1 count. Good off-speed pitch by Shoemaker.
Jackson with the infield base hit over at first base. Lead off the 6th inning. Good lead for Jackson over at first. We'll check in on him again. Nelson Cruz on deck, then Kyle Seager for Seattle. Called strike 3. Cano gets rung up. 1 down.
It's a good two-seam fastball that looks like it starts off the plate, then runs back and catches the inside corner, and a lot of the inside corner with that fastball. Good sequence by Shoemaker against Cano. Clearly getting a lot of the strike zone. And on top of that two-seamer, running action, catching that inside corner. Framed well by Iannetta. What you got to do as a catcher, just keep that glove right there. Give the umpire a good look.
So 1 out, 1 on. Nelson Cruz, a base hit his last time up, is 1 for 2. He shoots that one over the head of Pujols. That's a fair ball toward the corner. Double care. I mean, that hangs up against the base of the padding there. Jackson's going to be waved in. He'll come in to score, and it's 2-1 Seattle. Double for Nelson Cruz. His second hit of the night, picks up his 45th RBI.
Very similar to pitch that Trumbo hit down the right field line. Thigh high, belt high, going the other way. And right down the line, just inside the chalk line. The ball got around the corner, anticipating bouncing away, but got stuck underneath there just enough to allow Jackson to come all the way around from first with his speed to score the go-ahead run.
8th double of the season for Cruz, and Seager will bat now with a man in scoring position, with Seattle now leading it 2-1. Seager 0 for 2, grounded into a double play that ended the fourth in his last at bat. Fouls this one back. This is the fourth extra base hit for Seattle tonight. The 6 hits that they picked up, all doubles. Now leaving the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to limit the damage. There were 2 doubles in the 5th inning to tie the score up at 1, and now the double to Cruz to put Seattle on top. The Angels in the bottom of the inning have Trout, Pujols, and Ibar who to lead things off. Breaking ball high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two one. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. Doesn't get any easier with Trumbo on deck.
Another pitch out of the strike zone. You might see Mike Butcher go out with a quick visit to Shoemaker.
There's ball 4. Right on cue, Mike Butcher steps out of the dugout. Will head to the mound.
Mike Scioscia calling down to the bullpen now. Also, 71 pitches thrown for Shoemaker.
Jose Alvarez will be the first man up. Alvarez picked up the win on Wednesday. His 2nd of the year. So Cruz standing at second, Seager at first, Trumbo at the plate. He's 1 for 1. Walked to the second, doubled and scored to the 5th. Ground ball towards short. Ibar comes in, fields it cleanly. Featherston for 1. The relay back to first. Got him. 6-4-3 inning ending double play. Seattle, however, takes the lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th. They lead it 2-1.
Real at Oakland. They had a couple bench clearing brawls early in the year so far. Quiet, but the Royals lead Oakland 5-1. And will Scherzer make history? He was perfect through 5 before finally giving up a hit. He won out double by Freddie Galvis, who broke up his perfect game. At one point, going 23 innings with 1 hit allowed. No walks, 1 hit batter, 19 punch-outs.
And Freddie Galvis is no relation to Pud Galvin.
No, close though.
No, we tried.
And the thing about Washington, I think they had a streak of about 47 or 48 innings pitched without allowing a run as a starting staff. Before Scherzer ended up going 8 innings, 2 runs.
Trout yanks one out to left field, a leadoff single, second hit of the night.
Squared that one up well. Fastball at 94, inner half of the plate, got his hands tucked in. Barrel the bat. How quick and short that swing is for Trout. The stride, gets his hands inside, and then the barrel of the bat and a line drive in the left field for Mike Trout.
Albert 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a ground ball to third. Watch out. That ball ran up and in and looked like it got Albert near the elbow.
Like it was a changeup or a cut fastball. Certainly wasn't his fastball. Right on the elbow. Tries to turn. Exactly what you try to do. If you're a youngster at home, you're watching this game, there's a baseball thrown inside, that's what you want to do. You want to turn your body like Albert did.
So the first 2 have reached here in the 6th inning against Walker. Ibar at the plate.
Bunt. I'm thinking he might be squaring around the bunt. Seattle's potentially thinking that too.
David Freese, who's on deck, has a couple of singles tonight. And there's a bunt on the third base side. That's a beauty. Barehanded by Seager. Cano covering. The sacrifice advances Trout to third, Pujols to second.
Well done by Eric. Good play by Seager also. It's a real good bunt. Using the bare hand. Got a lot on that throw for Seager. Won a Gold Glove last year. Now, interesting, it looks like they're going to play at least the middle part of the infield back. Conceding a ground ball to the middle infield to be a run scored.
2 singles for Freese. The Angels have action in their bullpen. Trevor Gott getting ready. Pretty good pitch there to maybe get a fly ball out of it.
And Walker also trying to throw that fastball in to try to jam David Freese. It's a good take.
Good rip.
Yeah, your goal as a pitcher in that spot there with a man on third, this being the second and third, you want to throw that fastball in. And it's going to be up to Freese to make good contact on a fastball 94, 95 inside.
And now you, at 1 and 2, you're susceptible to the breaking ball, right?
Yeah, because you've been aware of that fastball in, being that firm. .90-mile-an-hour changeup. A la King Felix with his changeup.
One, 2 again. Freese strikes out, swing on the high fastball. 2 outs. Strikeout number 6 now for Walker.
Pretty good sequence, back-to-back pitches for Walker as a youngster. Change-up, pitch before, then goes upstairs with 97 on the fastball. Every pitch in that sequence inside.
Now Matt Joyce with an opportunity. Still at second and third, 2 outs now. Joyce a strikeout victim into second, a fly ball to center in the fourth. Out to right field. Trumbo drifting back on it is there. And the Angels with an opportunity to at least tie it. They've 2 men in scoring position. 6 complete, 2-1 Seattle. By Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. By Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by Hyundai, the 4th of July sales event is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Top of the 7th inning, Seattle leading it by the score of 2-1. Matt Shoemaker back out. And he'll face the bottom third of the order. At least that's what's scheduled. The Angels do have action in their bullpen. Gott is still loosening. He was up last half inning. And Cesar Ramos, the lefty.
Very impressive 14 ground ball outs in this game for Shoemaker.
Actually, Gott is sat down. It's Fernando Salas now that's up with Ramos. Had the Angels tied it or taken the lead, it would have been gone in the 7th. Smith bouncing it foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Mariner left fielder 0 for 2, a ground ball to third and a ground ball to first. There's the Angels 10. Two balls and 2 strikes. Smith, Miller, and Zunino. And Miller on deck has a couple of doubles off Shoemaker, and also an RBI. Wasted opportunity for the Angels in the bottom of the 6th.
Pretty good split finger fastball from Shoemaker.
Elevated fastball. Fouled straight back. Still at 2-2. 6 hits for Seattle, 7 for the Angels. Full count.
Try to hard slider down and in. Had 2 options, going fastball down and away or split finger fastball down and away.
(3-2). Smith hits one back up the middle, and that will head into center field for a leadoff single. Brad Miller due up. Mike Scioscia is going to go down to the bullpen. He's going to play matchup here. So Cesar Ramos is being called upon with Miller already 2 for 2 against Shoemaker. Matt's night comes to an end after 6 innings plus 1 batter. He's responsible for Smith on board. Seattle leading it 2-1 with a pitching change here in the 7th. Standing at first base. Turn in and out. Who's in, who's out. Shoe is done, and Cesar Ramos takes over on the mound. Ramos now pitching in his 30th game as an Angel. 2-0 record, a 2.01 ERA. 22 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 21 hits, and he struck out 16 and walked 5. And he'll going to face Brad Miller, left-hand hitting shortstop.
Nice job though by Matt Shoemaker tonight. 14 ground ball outs for Shoe. For the most part kept the ball down very well. Just a few mistakes, a couple doubles cost him a couple runs. Still under normal circumstances when down like that, you're looking at potential W. Now he's looking for help from Cesar Ramos to get a ground ball double play and get the offense going in the bottom of the 7th.
Dustin Ackley, the pinch runner at first base for Seth Smith. He will take over in left field. Ramos pitched Tuesday and threw 20 pitches in that outing. Miller hits one back up the middle, and it's a single. A 3-hit game for Brad Miller. Seattle with runners at first and second and nobody out. Mike Zunino due up. He's going to be called upon probably to drop a bunt here. One would assume.
Mike Scioscia is going to go to the bullpen here.
So it was one job for Ramos, unable to do it. So Fernando Salas will come into the ballgame. Another pitching change. We're in the 7th. Seattle with a couple of men on, looking to extend their lead. 2-0 Mariners here with a pitching change. And the other one a little bit more troubling, but we'll look at Fernando's numbers here. Salas comes in to face Mike Zunino with 2 on and nobody out. 35th game, 1-1 record, a 4.50 ERA. Threw the ball well Wednesday against Houston in his inning into 3rd. The other change is Johnny Giavatella's come into the ball game for Eric Ibar, moving Taylor Featherston over to shortstop. So you wonder if something happened to Eric on one of those 2 singles, either by Smith or Miller, both toward the middle. So Featherston's the new shortstop, Giavatella at second base. Once we hear on Eric, we will certainly pass it along. Giavatella goes into Ibar's spot in the order. Mike Zunino 0 for 2. Showing bunt right from the get-go. Bunt's a foul.
There's the first at bat. Catcher's interference on a bunt attempt by Zunino.
Again, unable to put the bunt down, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Zunino has just 1 sacrifice this year. He's batting in the 9th spot. Bunt went off the plate in the 3rd and was called for interference in that one. I wonder if you have him try to bunt once again. Leadoff man Logan Morrison on deck. This one he gets down. Salas will field it. Giavatella covering the sacrifice. Now will advance Ackley, the pinch runner, to 3rd. Miller to 2nd.
He did a real nice job, especially with 2 strikes on him. Get that bunt down, get high fives in that dugout, including his manager, McClendon, because he got the job done.
intentional walk with Austin Jackson due up. So they will load him up.
The only danger about that is that Jackson is very difficult to double up. Then you have to deal with Robinson, Cano. Even if you get Jackson out via a strikeout or a pop-up in the infield with no damage. And Jackson is his grounded in his one double play this year.
And there's ball 4. Fourth intentional walk that Morrison's picked up this season. And now Salas to face Jackson. Mariners center fielder 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored in the 6th. Pujols playing in. And the first pitch in for a strike. Seattle tied it in the 5th inning, took the lead in the 6th. Looking to extend that lead here in the 7th. 0-1. Fastball in there, 0-2. Jackson 2 for 5 in his career against Salas. Going back outside, that one misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ackley over at third base, Miller at second, and Morrison at first. Seattle this season 7 for 50 with the bases loaded. That's a 140 batting average with 2 grand slams. One, 2. Ground ball to third. Freeze has it. Fires over to Gianvitello for 1. The relay back to first. Got him. Round the horn double play. Salas gets the job done. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Halo still down 1.
Game changer. Our theme as far as our opening today, Christmas Vacation. Gene Autry's song Here Comes Santa Claus was used in the scene, especially at the end. The Griswold house, outstanding part of the movie. 25,000 Christmas lights used on the house. And Christmas Day never reached. It was Christmas Eve when all that festivities were happening at the Griswold home.
Good old Aunt Bethany.
And still, the little lights aren't twinkling, Clark.
No. The house isn't on fire. It's the Christmas lights. Iannetta Featherston and Navarro for the Angels here in the 7th. Taijuan Walker back out on the mound. Chris 1 for 2. Pops this one up. Did this the last time to Mike Zunino. Does it again. 1 down. Let's check the Angels' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Honda. 2 more against Seattle. Remember, tomorrow it's a 4:15 start, and it's on Fox. 12:35 start on Sunday afternoon. Then the Yankees coming to town. 2 night games on Monday and Tuesday, and then a 4:05 start on Wednesday. As we mentioned, when Ackley took over as a pinch runner, he stays in the game for Seth Smith, left field.
Boy, Walker still bringing some heat with his fastball. 90th pitch of the game, that one at 95.
Angels let him off the hook in the 6th. Single by Trout, hit by pitch to Pujols. The first 2 batters of that inning. Sack bought by Ibar, and Free struck out. Joyce a fly ball to center. Featherston rips one out to left field. Ackley moving over and back will make the catch for the 2nd out. So 2 down and back to the top of the order we go, and Efrain Navarro. Efrain an 0 for 3 night.
I think Cole Calhoun would like another opportunity to swing the bat against Walker. And a nice little conversation. His last at bat after Cole just hooked that one foul, what would have been a home run, 2-run home run. They ended up striking out. They both had some words for each other walking off the mound.
Efrain flips one out to left field. Ackley makes a right turn, goes back, makes the catch. The Angels go down in order. 7 complete. Seattle maintains a 2-1 lead.
The Big A, first of 3 a weekend series. Ken French back with you right outside the Big A. And don't forget, following this one is Angels Live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Jose Mota, Tim Salmon, Alex Curry, myself will break this one down. And don't forget, tonight is also halfway to Christmas night.
Ho, ho, ho.
That one better than expected. And earlier today, Mike Trout mentioned his favorite Christmas carol. By the way, Christmas carols ringing throughout the Big A was Jingle Bells. I'll go with Here Comes Santa to keep my friend happy. Let's head inside of the ballpark. And Victor and Gooby, I know Bing Crosby has joined you in the booth here tonight. Would a Bing Crosby tune be your favorite during the holidays?
Robinson Cano lifts one out to deep right field, and it is now 3-1 in Seattle as Bing Crosby just kind of rolled over. Robinson Cano with his 4th home run of the season. 24th run batted in. That was a serious shot.
I think it was an all-speed pitch, down and in. The spot where all lefties crush, but especially this lefty, and Robinson Cano looked like it was supposed to be a changeup away. There are no doubt about this home run from Cano. It's his 14th career home run against the Halos, now 57 career RBI also.
Second home run in the last 4 games. Nelson Cruz 2 for 3. Being told that Eric Ibar left tonight's game with left hamstring tightness. Two balls and a strike. I'm not sure when that happened.
I don't know if he on that ground ball up the middle, or maybe potentially going try to stretch that double into a triple earlier in the game for Eric.
This one fouled out of play.
And knowing Eric, and it was a difficult task to take him out if you're Mike Scioscia.
After the base hit up the middle.
He's grabbing that left hamstring area.
And see, that was right after the first hit that Seth Smith had, and then there was Ramos came in and another base hit up the middle, and that's when Ibar was taken out of the game.
He certainly had to cover a lot of ground both up the middle and certainly on the backhand, especially against Austin Jackson.
Nelson Cruz lines one out to center field. Trout makes the catch. I wonder if that ball was knuckling out there and dealing with the lights as well. One down.
He was hit extremely hard by Nelson Cruz. He looked off the bat that Trout didn't see that real well. It's into those lights sometimes when it's hit that hard. You can see barely can pick that one up when it's hit that hard and that low. Very difficult for an outfielder to track that sometimes with the lights.
Seager looks at a strike. Oh for 2, a fly ball to left and a double play ball. Also picked up a walk in the 6th inning. Taijuan Walker might be done after 7 innings. Action in the Mariners pen. Carson Smith, the righty. Charlie Furbush, the lefty. One. 2 balls and a strike. Leadoff home run to Robinson Cano, extending the Mariners' lead.
.305 career hitter against the Angels coming into this game.
And Seager pulls one foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the 8th. Bouncer to second. Giavatello has it. 2 down. And tomorrow, Baseball Night in America returns as the Mariners take on Mike Trout and the Angels. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Four o'clock start. Around that time, advantage pitchers early on. Garrett Richards on the hill versus Happ. Lefty for Seattle.
Trumbo, 1 for 2. He drives one out to deep right field. Cole, drifting to his right, is there. Will make the catch. Cano extends the Mariners' lead with a leadoff home run. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Middle of the order coming up. The Angels down 2.
Changes for Seattle. Right fielder for the Mariners, Franklin Gutierrez, is back with Seattle. Very good fielder over the years, playing center field and taking over on the mound. Charlie Furbush. Very solid season so far. 29 games in the area, 1.89 for Seattle. Fastball, good fastball from Furbush. 89 to 94. Slider, changeup, curveball.
Furbush taking over for Taijuan Walker, who went 7 innings tonight, gave up a run on 7 hits, one of which was the home run to Trout. 6 strikeouts and no walks. So that's no walks now for Walker in his last 21 1/3 innings. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols for the Angels here. Maybe just a one-batter situation with Carson Smith ready to go as well. Cole 0 for 3. 2 fly ball outs and a punch out. First pitch swinging on that slider. Oh, 2 count now. 30th game for Furbush. Did a nice job for Seattle. 19 innings, just 8 hits.
Lefty's only hitting 114 against Furbush.
3 pitches. Cole goes down swinging for the first out.
Now it's time for a top-tier play of the game brought to you by Arco in the first inning on a 2-0 pitch. Walker, fastball 96 at the knees for Trout. solo shot, his 19th home run of the season for Mike Trout. Great power going up the middle once again for Trout. His center field for a home run.
As we expected, Lloyd McClendon makes his way out, and that's going to be it for Charlie. Gets the guy that he needed to get. Carson Smith coming on in relief with Trout and Pujols due up. One out here in the 8th inning. The Angels trailing at 3-1. Coming to the plate. Lloyd McClendon goes to the bullpen and summons the big man, Carson Smith. Smith made his major league debut last year. Pitched in 9 games after being an 8th round pick in 2011. And he is now pitching his 32nd game this year, 1-2 and a 1.52 ERA. Remember, this is the strength of the Mariners last year was their bullpen. They've had their hiccups. Smith is a guy that has done a nice job for them. 36 strikeouts in 29 and 2/3 innings.
Yeah, his fastball's 92 to 96 range. Slider, changeup, very good slider. Tough arm angle also.
Trout punches one past Logan Morrison. It's a base hit. Trout picks up his 3rd hit of the night. And more importantly, it'll give Albert the opportunity to step up, representing the tying run.
It's a good swing here from Trout. A good pitch, too, from Smith. We've seen Seattle do that type of damage on something away. Trumbo, Cruz hit the ball hard that way on a fastball away. Trout does the same. 3-hit game for Mike Trout.
Albert bounces it foul. 0-1 count. Breaking ball. And that is in there for a strike.
Kind of a hanging breaking ball. The speed fooled Albert Pujols.
Teammate of Kyle Kubica, Texas State, 2011. Both drafted the same season. Kubica by the Braves.
Is there Goldschmidt on that team then too?
Slider down and away. Goldie may have been the year before, if I'm not mistaken. And Carson was at Grayson Community College. He transferred to Texas State. couple of years before for Goldschmidt. A little bit older. We're going to talk things over here. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Pujols, 0 for 2. Strikeout, ground down, a hit by pitch. Down and away.
Boy, as a hitter, you're trying to pick up the baseball out of a pitcher's hand, but this delivery very difficult to do so. And Carson Smith, that angle he throws it, especially picking up the rotation of the baseball.
Johnny Giavitello on deck. Remember, he came in defensively for Eric Aybar. Left hamstring issue for Aybar. Trout takes off. Pujols takes ball 4. So 2 on and 1 out here in the 8th. Giavitello hitting .266, 3 home runs, 26 runs batted in, has 11 doubles. Was in the leadoff spot in Wednesday's game against Houston. Had a 1 for 6 game.
Hitting .350 against Seattle this year, 7 for 20.
Fouls the first one back.
You got a pitch right there to do some damage. Foul that one straight back.
Oh, 1 pitch. Chopper to third. Seager fires to Cano. The relay back. And in time. Inning-ending double play. The Angels, another opportunity. Goes by the wayside. We head to the 9th. 3-1 Seattle. Angels.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. You can vote up to 35 times at Angels.com. In the 9th inning, Mike Scioscia goes to the pen, and Jose Alvarez is brought in to replace Fernando Salas, who gave up a run on the Robinson Cano home run. That was over 2 innings. Also had 1 intentional walk. Alvarez to face the bottom third of the order here, and Ackley, Miller, and Zunino. 27th game, 2-1 record, 3.66 ERA. Picked up the win. We'll see the Taylor Featherston game-winning walk-off single. As they now 2-1. Dustin Ackley coming up for his first plate appearance. Took over as a pinch runner in the 7th for Seth Smith. First one in there, first strike. Ackley hitting .204 in 63 games this year. 5 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Hard smash and a great play to the backhand by Pujols. There's out number 1. A wicked hop, and he stayed with it.
What a reaction Albert had on that one. Ball was hit as hard as you can hit a baseball, on the dirt, on the line, and it was by him when he caught it. Feed to Alvarez. But what a play by Albert. Under control, perfect feed.
A 1-out, nobody on for Brad Miller. He's had a nice game. 3 hits, 2 doubles and a single, 1 RBI. The breaking ball for strike 1. The Angels in the bottom of the 9th have Freese, Joyce, and Iannetta due up 6, 7, and 8. Carson Smith has been closing games for Lloyd McClendon because of the struggles Fernando Rodney has had. Smith just finished off the 8th inning, and it's Fernando Rodney that is loosening in the pen. We have the 5.90 earned run average and 2-3 record, 14 saves. And we've seen Mike Scioscia at times when the Angels had their issues in that closer's role play the matchup game as opposed to playing it traditionally. As Iannetta goes down to first to complete the strikeout, whereas because it was Trout, Pujols, Giavotella in that situation, you come in and get your closer to get those big outs, and then you could turn the ball over to Fernando and maybe pick up his saves and kind of get his confidence going.
Yeah, especially it would be a clean inning for him to go out there with no runners on base.
2 outs, nobody on for Mike Zunino, the catcher. 0 for 2. Zach Bond in his 7th inning plate appearance. Two balls and 1 strike. Alvarez won an inning and 2/3 in that win on Wednesday. Outside. Top of the order, and Logan Morrison on deck. Ground ball towards short. Featherston has it. We head to the bottom of the 9th here at the Big A. The Angels will have David Freese, Matt Joyce, Chris Iannetta trying to rally down by 2. To Fernando Rodney to try to close it out for Seattle. Mentioned the 2-3 record, a 5.90 ERA, 31st game, has 14 saves, 29 innings. He's given up 31 hits, and he's also walked 15.
Still has that power fastball, 94 to 98, very good. Changeup. A lot of times they'll throw that changeup to get back into counts. Occasional slider.
David Freese, Matt Joyce, and Chris Iannetta. Those are the scheduled 3 batters to try to get something going for the Angels here. A golden opportunity in the 6th inning. 2 on and 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Could not capitalize. Had a man in scoring position. 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. In the 8th inning, the Giovatelli grounded into the beginning, getting double play. Freese 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, struck out in the 6th. That was with the Trout at 3rd and Pujols at 2nd. First fastball upstairs. I'll leave it to count. Got his last save on May 29th against Cleveland. Off speed. Grounded to Miller. 1 down.
An excellent changeup that Fernando Rodney has.
There's Joyce, who's 0 for 3. Strike out, a couple of fly balls to center. This is line to left center field, a base hit. It'll bring up the tying run tonight at him. As Joyce stops at first. Chris 1 for 3, a single back in the 2nd. Since then has popped out twice to Zunino, the catcher. It's jammed. It flares one toward the dugout. Morrison just didn't have time to get over there. I'm not sure that he gets to it if he does. It's not hit high enough.
And Chris has already popped out twice. Zunino jammed him again with another fastball and not allow him to get his arms extended. Although you run in that danger zone when you go inside with a pitch, and that was an all-speed pitch, that you can make a mistake out over the plate, and that's when you can drive it out of the yard.
One ball, one strike. Chris fouls this one back. Joyce over at first. 1-2 to Iannetta. Outside, 2-2.
Slider.
tipped into the mid, 2 down. Well, the Angels down to the last out here. Rodney just challenged him.
Fastball, inner half, 95.
Here's Taylor Featherston. A 1-for-3 game with a single in the 5th. Both teams with 9 hits. 0-1. Mariners capitalize on their opportunities. Miller in the 5th inning with a double that tied it. Cruz with a double in the 6th that put them in the lead. Then Cano with the capper, the solo home run leading off the 8th inning. That was off Salas. 0-1. Bouncer foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's that big home run when you can expand the lead. There's a big difference between trying to preserve a 1-run lead as compared to 2. Challenge hitters more often. Take away that potential. If there's a runner on, you could bunt them over, hit and run with a 1-run deficit as compared to 2. Taking away a lot of options. The opposing manager when Robinson Cano hit that one out.
Swing and a miss, and Seattle takes game 1 by the final of 3-1, Gubin.
Well, what it came down to is Walker threw the ball so well, and some good swings from Brad Miller to shortstop, a couple doubles. Trumbo double scored a run, and then Robinson Cano with a big solo shot. Seattle, their pitching staff very solid tonight, but Walker so impressive. 97-mile-an-hour fastball consistently throughout the game was the big difference maker for Seattle tonight.
In his first appearance against the Angels, he picks up the win. Matt Shoemaker takes the loss, and Fernando Rodney notches the save. Seattle takes game 1 by the final of 3-1. Stick around. Angels Live postgame coming up next.